Hi everyone, it's Josh from Dungeon Boys, welcoming you back for another episode of adventure as we play through The Wilds Beyond the Witchlight. In our last episode, our party meets a new friend with a strange obsession, and they may be able to help our other new friend. What secrets will we uncover, and what adventure will we find? Join us as we explore more of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
I assume Josh's voice recapped you a little bit. The players have Eric and Prince have helped Jingle Jangle find some truffles. She is in the process of returning up the hill back to her home where Mick and Rusty are waking up, making breakfast. I don't know if they've decided what they're doing over the last couple of moments, but you have probably until the end of this sentence or possibly the following sentence to decide what it is you've been doing as Jingle Jangle makes her way back up the hill.
While they were gone, we accidentally burned down her. We're trying to put it back together, but no, we went off the rails there.
I needed to work on some things.
Oh yeah, you had work to do.
I had artificer infusions to infuse.
Oh.
I am now the proud owner of a bag of holding and a hat of wizardry and a little homunculus.
How'd you pull off the bag of holding?
You had a bag.
It's just a thing I can do. I mean, do you want me to just give up coins at random times for the stuff I'd need, or do I need to actually go into a town and buy things? Or
I don't know if it's kind of subjective. Like if it's like you need a certain kind of grass, I don't care. But like if there's like actual supplies that you need, unless you're able to pull them out of your rear end, I feel like we need to go find them somewhere. Or at least tell me you want them, and then I can maybe make a way for them to ethereally appear on the ground ahead of you or something like that.
The spleen of a phoenix.
I will need some time.
Well, I wasn't trying to say you're not allowed to have that. I was just really looking for some
At
some
second
flair.
level, you have gained the ability to imbue mundane items with certain magical infusions, turning those objects into magic items. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch a non-magical item and imbue it with one of your artificer infusions, turning it into a magic item.
So I do need a thing.
Bryce, I could tell you just listen to
Yeah, you would just need a bag.
Yeah,
You can have a bag on your person.
that'll work.
I'm just saying, like, if you need like silver-plated cogs,
No,
like you can't just make.
It
that
appears
right
like
here.
for a hat of wizardry, I imagine I need a hat.
A
For
wizardry?
Bag of holding, I imagine I do need a bag.
Jingle Jangle sounds like a hoarder of sorts. You could probably have found any of those things in your
Hey,
house.
Jingle.
Sweet.
Give me that.
Amongst the bodies.
She
Backyard's
was
nothing
found
but
to
a
be
masquerade.
honest last time.
But now she ain't.
Don't know what I might
Got it.
need for a homunculus.
What is a homunculus?
It's a thing.
Little servant boy.
It's like a little creation thing.
Ironically, a small thing.
You need a gem or crystal worth at least 100 GP.
I ain't even worth 100 GP. It's a little clockwork feller.
What's it do?
You passed butter.
I can cast spells through it and other stuff. I'd have to look
This
at
is
It's like the butter
compelling.
dude from Rick and Morty. I just passed butter.
What is your purpose?
Just passed butter.
All right, let's just start with the bag of holding for now. I have a bag of holding, and I'll figure out the other stuff later.
I just had questions. It's up to you. I'm
No,
not trying to take anything away.
I don't want it to come back and we're like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't have done that retcon. You didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just make it canon. I just did the bag for now.
Okay. So you found. Let's say you found a bag. Maybe you had one on your person. Don't you have ball bearings or something?
I do.
Okay. Maybe you had an extra ball bearing bag or something, and you turned that into a bag of holding. How big is your bag of holding? You know, if I were listening to this show, I would want
These
to try
are
to keep
personal
track of
questions.
like, oh, he's put too much stuff in his bag of holding.
Can't do that.
Is there a certain amount of size? Is there anything like that? I don't understand.
The
Are all-
bag has
I think
like
all
a
bags-
space in it that contains a certain size, and you can breathe for like an hour
Yeah,
in it.
I do remember that. I remember there's like a certain amount of
Can you
air.
see through it?
No.
Oh.
It's extra dimensional space, John. What do you think?
I can't
Yeah,
make
what
two
You
Lord,
can
of them.
see
man.
through what?
I can make two of them.
Nope. No.
Implodes the world.
Yeah.
that dude
We're trying to fix the world. But keep that
So what if I do
Put a
that
pin in it.
while I go through the gate between the real world and the Feywilds?
I'll just say this:
That's
you
we'll
got
call
a
that
long
plan
way to
B.
get back to any sort of gate back home, Dorothy.
We'll call that plan B.
Yeah, you,
All right.
you are a long way from home for a good long time.
So
my
I
friends.
made a bag of holding, and I will look up the other stuff.
Okay, cool. You've made a bag of holding. So Jingle Jangle, you hear her coming. She's holding her flail that's made out of padlocks, which is a very cool item. Good job, WOC. Very cool item. She's jingling and she's jangling. She might as well be skipping up the hill. You can hear the swishes and the swashes of trees moving back and forth, almost to share her glee. There's a general sense of pleasure, of being satisfied. Come on, one other word that's not a sex
I
thing.
love this because like she's got mushrooms now that she's been looking for, and the world is great.
Yeah, well, remember from last episode we learned that she'd been beaten up. Her truffles were stolen. She thought she had nobody left in the world. Then you guys come by, and all you want is to set Sir Talavar free, which is something she was into doing already. And now you've gotten her truffles. She loves keys and she loves truffles.
That'll work.
So she's heading back up there. The weather is lovely this morning. If bog swamp weather can be lovely.
So we hear the jingles and the jangles.
You hear the jingle. Well, you can hear them far off as they go away from you, as you and Prince continue to grab truffles. But Rusty and Mick are inside Jingle Jangle's cave home with a newly organized batch of keys that she was very pleased to have, and she comes jingling and jangling towards you, and she says, "Jingle Jangle wishes you a good morning, my new friends."
Good morning to you. Where would you find your truffles you're looking for?
She holds up a pouch that's near to bursting with truffles.
Yeah,
She says,
there you go.
Your friends helped Jingle Jangle find her truffles. Jingle Jangle's very pleased.
Right, but hey, where's everybody else?
What's the big one? What's the big furry one's name? Remind me.
As Eric.
Eric is decided to stay and find more truffles for your adventures and to resupply you for your future journey.
That sounds like what Eric would do.
And the smaller furry one is staying behind to, I suppose, help.
That seems like something the prince would do.
Very helpful crew you all have here. Anything else? Did you find the accoutrements fine here in Jingle Jangle's home?
Yes, it's a very lovely home you have.
Well, may I ask what kind of plans you have for... Will you be moving on today, or will we be hunting more truffles, or would you like breakfast?
I think we're good on breakfast and truffles.
We eat only adventure.
I imagine we have a lot to be getting on to.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in here trying to kind of fix the world or something.
Fix the world?
Yeah, it's, a little bit of the world. A little bit.
Small part.
Small part. Yeah.
Eric, you're not there.
My bad.
Things have been pretty messy around here since, all the changes in management, you might say.
Well, can you tell us what's a bit different from how it used to be?
So, replicate magic item does not specify that I need any special thing to do it.
Okay, cool.
So I guess I can just make that.
What?
Can you make a copy of one of the keys?
Yeah.
Throw off the whole system.
It's not a magic item.
You're not
Hey, you still have the cage, right?
Got him.
Yeah, if that's what the last episode said, I suppose.
What was your question? Go ahead and cut this portion out, Josh.
The question was, what has changed in this world that you have noticed?
That's not how you said it.
No, but I can always go back and put
Okay.
that in. No, what changes have you seen in your corner of the world? Like, what can you tell me under this new management?
Well then, don't get me wrong. I love Jingle Jangle loves her keys,
But it wasn't all. I didn't always love Jingle Jangle. Love the keys. Love collecting them. Very fixated on them. But I can remember a time when I didn't collect keys. When Jingle Jangle was just a regular old goblin. But I'll say the hag Bavlona Blightstraw. I think she cursed me.
Curse you to like keys.
She has a clever way of making things, granting your wish, but in a wrong way. You see, I'm very anxious. Jingle Jangle, I have always been afraid of being trapped in a locked room. I don't know if there's a name for that, but Jingle Jangle, I'm so frightened of being behind a locked door and not being able to get out, and it affected Jingle Jangle's life so much I went and Jingle Jangle, I couldn't do anything for the fear, so I went to Bavlorna Blightstraw and I said, please, I know you have magical powers, Bavlorna, will you please help Jingle Jangle with her fear? And what do you know, but she cursed me with a desire to collect these keys, which I love. But now Jingle Jangle never finds herself behind a door she can't unlock.
Well, hey, that's a positive, right?
Jingle Jangle guesses so.
Yeah, you gotta look on the bright side of these things sometimes. Yeah, Rusty, what do you think?
You say you like the keys, and you like being able to open any doors so you're not locked behind it. It sounds like you got your wish granted. Perhaps
Right.
not how you thought you would. But she probably takes advantage of people who are not in the best situation.
Right.
Though I would say your situation has improved somewhat. I don't have much memory of Jingle Jangle's situation before, and like I say, the keys are all I have. It's not a bad life. Jingle Jangle has her keys.
Well, you got your keys and everything, and that's nice. But we're looking for this Bavlorna. Do you have any keys that could help us to get into her abode?
Lorna, old Lorna, she didn't give Jingle Jangle any keys to there. She's very protective of her own. Doesn't want many people visiting unannounced. And I wouldn't dare go and bother her myself. After all, she has great power. I don't know what you plan to do with Bavlorna, but if you do plan to go and see her, Jingle Jangle suggests a little bit of caution. She's a powerful hag. We will avoid any deals with her.
Right. Yeah. In fact, as far as we know, she might have something that our friends Prince and Eric might have lost.
Ooh, Jingle Jangle thinks you best be careful. If she's already taken something from you, she could just take some more. I'm not afraid of her.
Yeah, I don't really know if we got so much to lose. I mean, I got some friends, but that's about all I got.
In a moment of brief clarity, Jingle Jangle looks around the room that she lives in, this cave that's relatively nice, but still a cave where she lives alone. There's keys everywhere. She regards her room briefly, and she looks at you and slowly says, "There's always more to lose." She turns around and goes and begins gathering some of her keys as you guys make your preparations for the morning.
Zenas nailed it. 'Twas sad.
Josh probably has some like
It's just one note.
yeah.
Just one.
All right. At this time, you guys are. I mean, she's gathering. She's doing her morning thing. She doesn't do a lot, but you guys are free to do whatever it is that you want to do. John, roll a survival check for me. Are you helping him look? or
I'm
are
not
you just...
helping John. I'm
Alright.
standing by, watching him. He can do it himself.
Hands
Man,
on hip.
one night after being called the king, because remember you have the crown from the Witchlight Monarch. One day after one person referring to you as your highness, and now he's the king of the world.
No, I just don't. Prince just doesn't know much about it, so
That's
he's like,
fine.
this
What y'all
Eric
looking
is
for
probably
again?
better. Truffles.
Truffle.
Oh, y'all are still truffling?
Which rooms?
What'd
I'm
you
there
roll?
to protect him.
Will a 16 work?
A 16, yes. You find some truffles. Now roll a d8 plus your
Wisdom?
Truffle
D100.
wisdom
finding
modifier,
modifier.
yeah, for whatever survival is.
D8.
While he's rolling that,
3.
Plus your wisdom modifier.
Which is
72.
2. 5.
All right, you found 5 whole, big, honking, sweaty, greasy truffles.
Nice.
is that normal?
In the Feywild, anything in the Feywild, when you pull a truffle, it screams and calls for its mom.
That
Whoa.
sounds more like a mandrake.
Yeah.
All right. Or a person.
Hey, Paul, this truffle ain't sweating. Should I put it back?
So now I'm just imagining.
No,
like,
I ain't
the
right. Put it
mushroom-
back in there.
The mushrooms from, like, Mario.
Hmm.
Mario.
Toad.
Just toads.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not spend too much time on the truffles. You find
Yeah.
5 truffles and stick them in your
Big
bag.
old brown balls.
A truffle is what we.
Sweaty ones.
Heck, you know what? Since we focus so much on the truffles, I'm going to make an executive DM decision.
Here it comes.
If you eat a truffle, it's like Skyrim. You get a little health benefit from it.
Hey.
A truffle is worth.
1,000 words.
Yep. A truffle is worth a D4's roll worth of health.
Hey.
So
What's
you
that,
now
like
have.
a minor healing potion?
It's less than that. It's
Yeah.
like
1d8.
D4 plus
Yeah.
2.
It's something to
You
whenever
get
you're
a Hello Kitty Band-Aid.
whenever you're almost unconscious. It's
and a
something to
kiss
gnaw.
from a mushroom fairy.
It's all
It's something to gnaw on while you weep on the ground.
It is sweaty.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
2d4 plus 2, right? For minor healing?
That's a regular healing.
Same thing.
Something like that, bro.
Same thing. That's a major healing. Same thing. That's an ultimate healing. Same thing.
Full heal.
Prince,
Yes?
do we want to head out, or do you think 5's enough?
I don't like truffles, so
I see.
you can decide. If you think, if you're gathering these for us to consume on the ride, I've got rations. I'll be fine. I mean, 5 seems like plenty. I mean, they're a decent size. I can help you this time if you want. We can see if we can scrounge up. I can dig with my kitty claws.
Let's try one more time.
Alright, let's do it.
All right,
This
DM,
is not
go.
the voice.
Get it.
Jingle Jangle ceases her work and begins another conversation in order to pass the time.
Oh, you! I don't.
I'm just kidding. Roll again. Roll your
With
survival.
advantage.
Roll with advantage.
Because you got
Hey,
You know,
18.
if you hold
It seems
down,
like they're taking
Oh,
quite a while out there. Should we go look for them?
Yeah, let's
That's before me.
how about the Robert, the snail? Can we like saddle it up or
Alright,
something
still
and get him
18.
ready?
Yeah, I'll go tack up Robert.
You think he's still eating the sentient hill? Like, is that a thing?
Don't ask me stuff about last episode. I don't remember.
Oh god! Oh yeah, we skipped over that
Well,
one, but we put the snail out to pasture, and like the tree said it was the hill,
Oh.
so we were all like, "Oh my god!"
Robert, no.
Essentially, the hill you're on, Telemy Hill, is. I think I tried to communicate that the hill is also like a living being
Yeah,
that she lives on. It's Jingle Jangle's only friend.
Interesting.
just hear constant screaming through the night as the snail's relentless munching.
Okay, so you guys are about to head out the door to tack up the snail, which is hanging out in front of the cave.
Robert,
I
here,
say-
boy.
I say that over time, Robert could become like a war snail. We put like spikes all over him, like little battlement on top.
So, with that kind of roll, you actually get to the top of the 50 cal mounted machine gun on the back of the snail, and then you begin to volley rounds towards all of the hares running at you with clubs. Moving right along,
All
you
terrain.
successfully find more truffles. Roll that same D8 again, plus your wisdom modifier.
Come on, John.
8.
Wow.
Dang.
8 plus 3?
No.
No, 8 plus
Six-
2. That's
six
what's
plus
8.
two.
No,
6
that's right.
plus-
Total
6 plus
is 8.
2.
Okay.
Total is 8.
8. So now you have 13 truffles in your bag.
The problem is that each truffle weighs 50 pounds.
Oh,
So-
no wonder
and
they
you
have to.
eat the entire thing.
You gain the benefits.
Right.
For 1
but you're
HP.
right, Bryce. It is 2d4 plus 2 for a healing potion.
A regular.
All right. You guys finish
We're
that
finished.
search.
And we're walking back
All right.
to the...
I was about to say, I don't like to railroad you into things, but I'm not doing any more truffles.
I know.
No more.
I look for truffles.
I
on
really
the
hope
way
they bring back at least 14 truffles. I really have a hankering for 14 truffles.
You know, after hearing about them, I'm kind of thinking some truffles would be good too. I mean, we got these rations, but truffles they'll go a long way to add some flavor.
I kind of forget what we're doing here. Maybe we should just stop and be truffle farmers.
You know what? I like it. We got this nice hill here. We got a Robert. Let's do it.
The truffle farming beyond the Witchlight.
Right.
Okay, you guys come up the hill. Right outside the cave, you see your compadres, Rusty and Mick, saddling up the snail, presuming, or you can assume that they are getting ready to travel away. On the way up the hill, though, both of you roll a perception check.
Did they pass by these trees that you wanted
They-
to? Okay,
I'm right on time.
got it.
24.
Trees are all like, you
Oh,
did
not
truffles, did you?
Nat 20?
20.
Nat 20?
Not natural.
Okay, so just because, both of you about at the same time, notice on the ground,
Whispers.
you see a single key ahead of you, and before you're able to get to it, one of the trees bends down and picks it up, and it raises it in its hand, and it says, "Hey, come here, fellow."
It's a trap.
I walk toward it.
Same here.
Okay. Since you helped out my little friend Jingle Jangle, she dropped this key. It may be useful to you in the future. And it holds out its key.
I take it.
You take it. The key is now within your hand.
Explodes.
Thank you for helping her. She is my friend, but at times she is lonely. And when she goes far from me, I cannot protect her from the brigands of our realm.
Hey, Mick, isn't that them at the bottom of the hill?
Is it? Yeah, it looks like them.
Crap, they're talking to a tree again. This is going to take a while.
Oh, jeez. All right. Should we go rescue them, or
I don't want to get too close.
I don't want to be in conversations with them.
it might get conversational?
Okay, but the tree seems to be done speaking with you at this moment.
Thank
I
you
just aged 2 years.
for the key. Ignore my rude companion.
You're welcome.
I didn't mean.
Whoa! Slow down.
All right, you guys head back up the hill.
Yes.
After this conversation with the tree, you now have. Be sure to mark down that you have that.
I have key from the tree.
You have key
Tree
from
key.
the tree.
Tricky.
The freaky tricky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look and see.
Why does this key have blood on it?
Hey.
Why does this blood have key on it?
Right?
That key will do something.
And we made it to the
We'll
summit.
Find out.
Yeah.
In the next episode.
Yeah, you and I will find out together.
Tune in
Summoning
next
the
week.
climb.
All right. Yep. You guys arrive at the top of the hill. Rusty and Mick are there.
Hey, did you guys find any of those truffles you was looking for?
We got a good old baker's dozen of truffles.
13.
What's a baker's dozen, John?
Oh, there's 12.
Baker's dozen is
That's a regular
13.
dozen.
Really?
A dozen is 12. Yeah, because they'd always throw in an extra one for reasons.
Oh.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I should just.
You obviously struck a nerve, John. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
John, did you know that Zenus's ancestors were actually the original bakers? That's why he gets so upset about
They
the
came up with the
We
dozen.
were actually
Old
the lawyers.
Thaddeus Baker.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
That is, yeah.
Tie
Oh,
in.
That's great.
Oh, that very cool. I wasn't even thinking it.
You get
I
bonus
forgot
points.
his name.
You
All right, back to the game.
retroactively get inspiration for that.
Anyway,
Back to the
yes.
game, back to the
We got some truffles and
You think you got enough?
probably.
I hope so. I ain't doing that again.
So, where do we go from here? I know we're on the hunt for this Babylona, as well as the others that have taken our things, but have we figured out a direction for Babylona?
I do not know.
I seem to remember that we
Was
were
that on
told
camera?
Babylona was in the swamp on a house of stilts.
On a house of stilts. You're right about that.
Now we seem to be in a rather swampy area. What if we were actually kind of in the area where the Babylona is?
That'd be nice. That'd be wonderful. Then I could go home. Literally as well as figuratively.
Didn't they say she lives around the swamps?
Yes.
Yes. We were.
There is a swamp right there.
That's what.
Are we just repeating?
That's
Each
what
other?
Nick just said.
Yes.
So look, when you was out there, you didn't see anything Babylonish looking, did you?
Well, no, we did see some creatures on stilts. They were going to downfall.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Fall down. I don't know. That way. And I point in the direction he pointed.
Was it like a village or something? Or?
I think it's a city. They were going to trade some eggs.
Do you think they might be servants of her? I don't.
Probably not. They seemed more like a neutral party than anything else.
Well, the downfall thing. I guess you got to go through the swamp to get there, right?
Yeah, they were going on stilts towards it, so I assume perhaps that the stilts would help them traverse the big swampy pits.
Yeah, but we gotta rob it. I'm
We
like
do.
patting the side of the
Do have a
old
robber.
the robber.
I also got
Oh.
this key from a tree. He said it might help us in the future.
A key.
Yeah, it's a key.
Wait a minute. We got somebody that collects keys around here. Should we be asking her?
No, he gave it to us for helping her. So,
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Or she. I don't know if the tree's male or female.
The tree is an enabler.
Probably not for us to decide.
Tree is definitely an enabler.
Yeah.
So we ride the robber towards downfall.
Well, yeah. If we got to go through this swamp to this downfall place, let's go in that direction. If we see a Babylona, we can just
And if not, we can go
Run
from
around.
downfall to
Yeah.
wherever's next.
and maybe the people in downfall have some idea where the Babylona is.
Well,
Eric,
she probably
that would
moves
be you.
around. Being
Yes.
on the
people on the podcast can't hear you
chicken
nod.
stilts.
Yes.
Thank you.
John, you do everything else loud, not loud.
Just
Not
cracks his
loud.
neck back and forth.
Ding, ding, ding.
You know what? Yeah.
All right, so
Saddle up.
giddy up.
Giddy up.
Giddy up,
Cool.
giddy up, giddy up, 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 giddy up, giddy up,
Jingle
giddy up,
Jangle
up, up, up.
comes out of her cave, hearing your conversation, and she says,
Those are my keys.
"Jingle Jangle, it seems like it to Jingle Jangle seems like you are ready to leave. Well, thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome.
Right, and thank you for your help too.
Yes, are you headed toward downfall?
It would
Yeah.
appear so.
Well, please be careful.
Can you tell us anything about it?
It's swampy. It's kind of on. If you're looking for old Lorna's cottage, it's in the middle of a bit of deep water, and there's once you start meeting some bullywugs, you know you're close. Lots of bullywugs around her cottage. So just please be careful. I after your kindness, Jingle Jangle wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to you.
That'll be fine.
Also,
Yeah, we got a Robert with us, so
Also beware Agdon Longscarf. He's the quickest brigand in these parts. I assume you met some of his goons.
Yes, he's the leader of the rabbits, right?
Yes.
The tollway brigands.
Yes, I imagine that you may find yourself passing through the brigands' tollway before you get to Downfall. So, please, be careful.
Will do.
Thank you. I think we'll be fine. I can't imagine anything going wrong. Literally.
I literally can't imagine anything going wrong.
Right. No sense of danger.
Then you lack imagination. We'll see you all later.
Goodbye.
Hey, thank
And-
you.
Actually,
Bye-bye.
that kind of sticks with Rusty, because his whole thing is he's supposed to be building like he's an armorer. He's supposed to be creating the ultimate defense, and he can't think of dangerous situations. Her saying you lack imagination. That's a character moment here.
There you go. Good.
Captain moment.
I had equated it to you lost your cave, so now it's like you're trying to like build the cave around you,
No, it's
build back that defense.
It's well, he was raised by another artificer armorer,
Mhm.
Uriel, who was trying to build the ultimate armor.
Every
Never-
time I hear Uriel, I think of Courage the Coward.
Uriel.
I know it's Muriel, but
Yeah.
no, I got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
All right. Also, I have some things written down that I wrote down while tired.
Ooh.
It says bollywogs in downfall are it either is supposed to say cautious or courteous. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
Courteous.
They're courteous. I don't have an R in it.
Claudius.
Yeah.
What about the bollywog? You said what you have written down? What?
I have bollywogs in downfall are, and then there's a word that could be courteous or cautious.
Or maybe
It's actually a name. He's called
the court of all. There's a court, like kind of like a medieval court of them down there. So maybe that's what I was saying.
We have customs that we need to.
Maybe it was like they are
Observe.
courtiers. I also have Ignal's cauldron freezes time in palace.
Igvild's cauldron is what the hags use to freeze Sibilna.
Ah,
Yes,
And Zabilla's still inside.
gotcha.
froze up in there.
Froze up in there.
She be froze up in there. Froze up in there. The Bilna do be froze up in there. Okay. So you guys have saddled up Robert,
Yeah.
the snail, and you guys are ready to head towards Downfall. You have just been told goodbye by Jingle Jangle, and your snail begins to go down the mountain or the hill. The grass is waving back and forth. The trees are waving goodbye to you. There's a low rumble. Yep, there's a low rumble in the pathway that you hear. Goodbye, friends. Good luck.
Question.
Yes.
Is the grass waving back and forth intentionally, or is there just a slight breeze?
40% of it is intentional.
So 40% of
Actually,
the
no.
grass...
100% of it is intentional because you're in a swamp, man. It's stagnant air.
Yeah.
There's no breeze. It's swampy. There's mosquitoes.
That makes me feel even worse about... Well,
Talking
besides that.
farts.
Besides that.
This-
But that
this
makes me feel
recording
even
day.
worse about poor Robert going out to pasture and grazing last night
The tree is the hill was alive.
with the sound
The
of
hill
chewing.
allowed it.
But do the hills have eyes?
are alive with the
That's a
sound
completely
of
different story. We're going straight from maybe combat to definitely combat.
Where,
I like
If the
this.
hills have eyes.
the hills do not have eyes.
That's good.
You remember that one time we watched like almost all of the hills have eyes and we didn't know what it was?
We were substantially younger than him.
Yeah. We just
That's a
turned-
weird,
real
weird.
bad.
yeah, Bryce and I turned on the movie in the hotel room, a hotel room that we were staying. It's like a
It was like one of those sweet things. We had our own room,
yeah.
and we've gotten about like probably 4/5 of the way through this entire movie, and we're like, "Oh,
This is a horror movie.
If you can't tell you're watching a horror movie while you're watching a horror movie, you get 4/5
Yeah.
the way through it,
This is a horror movie
they're not doing their job.
about inbreds."
Cool. We love incest.
Not the
around
kind that make bread either.
here. Nope. Moving right along. Also, just want to let the podcasting audience, anyone else know, if you detected in the last, this is probably hopefully the same episode. Before we had to take a little break because my credit card had been stolen and I was notified. So if that was one of you, it's on site. It's on site. Don't let me catch you in the street.
If you would like Keith's new credit card number, please call one of us.
If you can get,
Except Keith.
I got a new card
Except Keith.
number.
Don't call Keith.
I got a new card on the way. If you know the person
What's
who
your
has
new
the
card
old
number?
card number, I'll give you the new card number
Ooh.
in exchange for that person's address and location.
That's that vicious circle there.
Yeah.
Vicious circle.
They don't know that I'll immediately deactivate. Because I'm the card holder. I have all the power. I can deactivate whatever card I want.
Where was your
Also,
power earlier?
It's a gift. when you give it.
Oh,
It was stolen.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
The reason I want to beat someone to death is because they stole, not because I gave them a
Man,
gift.
Oh.
Did you say stoled?
Because they stole.
They stole.
I think I just said stole. Let's play.
And now we're back to the inbred.
Well, let's play it.
Yeah, let's play back.
They done stole it.
So you guys travel.
Ah, camera got moved.
It's not move.
Hold
No,
up.
it twisted.
Yeah.
Straight up. The whole pole twisted.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever?
Are we good?
No,
Okay.
we're not good.
Are we?
We're good.
I feel wholesome. Are we?
We're good.
I think we
All right, moving right along. You guys are traveling through the swamp
With style.
with style. It has been a while
Robert.
since you have, left Telemy Hill. You guys are creeping along. Rusty, you still have a cage that has the ability to bind a little. What was he called? He's a little fey dragon.
It's like a pixie dragon?
Little pixie
Pseudo
dragon.
dragon.
What is this cage like? Do you have a description of the cage? I don't need it now. Just
It's like a bird cage.
It's a bird cage, but it has some pretty solid panels on it. It's not completely.
Oh yeah, it was iron. That's why the duty man couldn't break out.
So it was a pretty tough little cage, and it's I don't know, about foot and a half high,
All
That'll
right.
work. Yeah.
6 to 8 inches in diameter.
Do I
we'll
still
call it.
have a balloon animal pirate ship following me
I
around?
hope so. I really hope so.
Canonically, let's say that. Remember, whenever you guys passed through the mirror, and the pocket watch didn't go with you. Let's just imagine that also in front of that mirror there are 4 balloon animals on the ground.
Waiting
I think I
for us.
lost mine in the tent.
Yeah,
That makes more sense.
when you pooped as well.
When I pooped.
Yeah. That episode is coming up when
That
you
was
actually
epic.
pull off the poop.
Nice.
That was epic.
You're gonna have to let me
Spoilers.
know all of our fans'
Spoiler-
reactions.
I mean, well, spoilers. Sorry, they've already heard it, John. Why are you getting me confused?
it's not live. John.
You got to get this time travel thing right, because I'm there. All right, just kidding. Let's see. You guys are traveling down.
I know.
Do you?
Nothing.
Time. Once more. Time.
We're traveling.
You guys are traveling on
happened,
the snail. You guys are traveling on the snail. It has
How
been a while.
is the terrain?
The terrain is all of the terrain here is difficult terrain.
Mud.
Everything here is mud. It's schlop. It's grimy. There are big sinky holes roundabout. Also on your
Did the
travels,
snail ignore it?
ignore it.
I think that's why we're on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He ignores swampy terrain.
It is.
correct?
I would imagine that if you guys were attempting to travel this way, it would fatigue you. And by imagine, I would fatigue you.
Because I would be up to my pelvis in mud.
Right, you're
Going-
very short. You guys also encounter a few low spots where there's pretty deep water, and that water, if you know have checked it or whatever, is about 5 feet deep most of the time, depending upon the water. But I will say this: is that as you pass by, somebody roll perception for me.
I'll do it.
I'll do it too.
As you guys are traveling, there's a pretty good long while way off in the distance to your left, to the west. You're currently traveling north towards Downfall,
You
kind of a
also got a 10?
northwest. You're traveling northwest-ish towards Downfall in the direction that Stilt Fellow pointed, as well as the direction that Jingle Jangle pointed you towards. You guys are traveling that way. It's been a couple miles. Off way in the distance, you can barely see it peeking through the fog, is that big that big
Highway.
the highway that you spawned on.
Highway or
You can
my
see that
way.
way off in the
Road
distance. What were your
spawned in.
perception rolls?
10.
Okay.
Also 10. Nat 1.
Nat
Mm.
one.
Does the height
13.
3?
13.
Gotcha. Who had the highest?
Me.
All right. Sorry, I'm sorry. Tell me them again. I was turning my pages.
10, 10, 1, 13.
Not one.
Nat 1. Okay. You're not paying attention. Off in the distance, Prince, you can see what looks like a well. It's like a stone, just a round stone well. Small. It's probably 4 or 5 feet in diameter at the bottom. It's got a thicker stone lip around the top of it, and it's in the distance. You can kind of see that it's like gushing water a little bit, like it's just gurgling water. And
That's a septic tank down
as
there.
you
Don't
see
mess with
that, you kind of remember that off in the distance, you've seen a few things in the fog that look kind of like this. So roll I guess maybe
Wisdoms?
Yeah, maybe roll a wisdom or maybe an intelligence. Let's try to put 2 and 2 together.
If it's like a illusion, it'd be wisdom.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. That's not right. I'm just
Saving throw, right?
no saving throw. Just a
ability, just straight up.
just a check. Roll a check. You see something.
You're
I'm going
honing
to
in
presume
on
you're
it.
curious about.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. All right. We'll add some
Technically
information
22,
to this.
but, you know.
Your nat 20 as you examine this well that has some gentle water gurglage coming out of it.
You don't want to flush the line.
You look at it and you realize that in your travels, there have been other things out in the fog that look like this. And it seems as though maybe these things are creating the swamp and somehow they're continually pushing water into this area, making it swampy.
We were told that those are wells.
Those are wells.
Yes.
Have I told you about these before?
I don't remember.
Sir Tallywacker mentioned it.
Oh, yes. Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Well, you now are seeing one with your very eyes.
Are we heading in that direction, or it's like we're going this way, it's over there?
Would be a detour for the snail. It's not like miles away, but it's, a few hundred feet off your path.
Okay.
It is not in your way.
So guys, I don't know if you can see that, but over in this general direction here, there's a well with some gurglage going on.
It's actually rather tall, too. It's
oh,
about
really,
10
really
feet
tall.
I don't know
10
how
feet
I
tall.
missed that.
It's 10 feet tall. We kind of want to check that out. Like, I feel like with what we know, that could be potentially creating the swampland.
What do you want to do about it? We want to
Um,
plug it, or
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe there's like a way we could kind of stop it. At least this one.
yeah, maybe like a magic sort of thing going on. I'm down.
Same here.
Yeah, I suppose we can check it out.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Whoever's driving.
All
Hitchhike.
right. So
Robert
you guys
peels
turn
out.
over there.
Massive wall of mud.
So
shoots
I
up.
can see through the eyes of my raven flying overhead. I can just envision like Robert peeling his way through the swamp with like a little V line behind him. The swamp pushed down. like a boat going through the waves.
But it doesn't.
But it's all just
fall.
nasty muck and everything, so it's just very slow.
All right. The little bit of gurgling continues as you draw closer, but the closer you get, well, not the closer you get, but at a certain point, as you're about 30, 40 feet away, a geyser, a geyser of water shoots out of it, and now there's water just raining down on you. Everybody roll a perception check for me again.
Hey guys, I don't know what the telomere guy, he said that when they go off, they flood the area. Is this a good idea? I got a 12.
I got
Okay.
a 12 too.
Robert probably floats.
The floating snail.
I got a 16.
Disengage.
When you say Robert probably floats, he looks. One of his eyes turns around to you like.
I don't do that.
16.
No.
Okay.
I
What
got
else?
17.
Hole.
Okay.
Well,
12. The two 16s you guys
17.
see. 17 and 16. You guys can see at the top of this geyser, almost held on top of the water. So this geyser is about 10 feet in the air. The water is shooting out of it. Every moment that passes, the water around you and the mud in the swamp is beginning to rise and rise and rise. It's getting up halfway over the shell of the snail. And at the top of this geyser of water, you can see 4 nondescript items of some kind. They're floating, bobbling on top of the water before the water flows away.
Eric,
And
I think there's truffles up there.
for each
You won't see it.
for each one of these things, you can also see that a will-o-wisp is hovering within 5 feet of the geyser at the top. So there are 4 will-o-wisps at the top.
Anybody else seeing this?
Yeah. Hey, Eric, up there. Me,
Hey,
water spout. There's some stuff on top of it. Couple of floaters.
Yeah, there's something up there. What is it?
Anybody knows what those things floating around above them are?
Can I roll like percent? Because we don't see quite what those items are.
You don't see what those items are, and I do need to retcon a little bit because I read improperly. You can see.
If you don't see that, that's understandable.
You-
My eyes might be deceiving me.
You can see something shimmering around the top, but it is not. You do not necessarily know what those things are. I apologize. I've had a stressful morning. I've read the wrong thing. But you do see the trinkets.
I was gonna ask to roll to understand what they were anyway, because I don't know what a will-o-wisp is anyway.
How heavily is the water flowing?
How heavily is
It is flooding the swamp around us, so I imagine it's quite a.
It is pushing. Well, the water is 30 feet in the air, so it is.
But it's not like rolling straight down the side of the thing.
No, at this point, it's almost like creating a rain around it, and a very thick downpour of rain that's rising the mud in a diameter.
Worst septic ever.
Right. When we get close enough, I want to like jump onto the side of it and just shimmy up.
Okay, you have a climbing
I
speed.
have climbing speed.
That's right. He's got a climbing speed. This thing is
Because I'm a cat.
This thing is slimy and muddy, so it might be a little bit slow going for you.
That's fine. I can roll. I can
But
roll
you
for whatever I
begin. You guys get close. You begin to climb. At this point, the water. I'm gonna say that Robert is about 6 feet tall. He's pretty tall at the top of his shell. So the water gets up to like right at the top of the shell. You guys can remain dry on Robert's back. But his eyes, so you've got shell, and then there's obviously some mud and water separating you from the stalks of his eyes coming out of the mud. And then you guys hear, and then you see his little snail mouth pop out of the mud as well. And so yeah, you can hear Robert the snail going, trying to breathe while he's underneath the mud. But
That's cool, Robert. I didn't know you could do that.
As he inches closer, so you guys are all sitting down in the rain, I guess, in this rain that's coming down. As Derman, is anybody else doing anything? It's not Derman. As Prince, climbs onto the side of the well and begins to scale it.
Prince, you got this thing?
I'm gonna try.
Hey, Rob, you think you can follow him?
He can climb, right? Snails can climb things.
He rears up. No.
That's a DM decision. Snails can climb things, but not necessarily with things on their back. I don't know.
Sure.
That's
So Robert
Robert
turns an eye around as you address him. I mean, he's a giant snail. He's not the smartest creature in the world. As you're making this noise, he turns an eye around to essentially acknowledge that you are there and that you are attempting to speak to him. Do you wish to attempt to communicate with Robert?
Yeah, I'll try.
I look at Rusty
you're the-
and
Use your eye stalks.
I think I'd be more fitted to say this. So can I do?
Don't try and intimidate
God.
my snail. Speak to it. No eye for an eye. And
tenderly to
I don't know why it's going so wrong.
maybe offer him a truffle.
I'm gonna do animal handling if that works.
You gonna what now?
Animal handling.
He's going to
to-
handle his animals.
Roll animal handling on the young man.
10.
You have a +2 to it too?
I've got a lot of plus stuff.
Are you helping Rusty?
Yes. Well,
Give it. Let him roll again if Rusty is trying to help you communicate.
18.
Pushing.
Okay, so Rusty, you are able to tell you tell.
Give him the truffle.
You tell Eric what to say essentially, and Eric, try to communicate with the snail the best you can. Eric.
Robert, right? Robert, could you shimmy your way up there, and I try to do like hand motions to up
Okay.
there. Like, could you do that? Like, could you do that? As in like a question.
Gotcha.
Motion.
The eye blinks slowly. It almost gives the impression that it shrugs as if, what the hell?
I thought it was a "what's in it for me" blink.
There are many blinks in the world. But the snail begins to move with the three of you on its back. It moves towards the thing right behind Derman as Derman is
Prince?
Prince, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're getting there.
Prince Derman.
Prince is climbing up the well. He's already about, he's getting towards the top of this thing. You're about to peek over the side as water is gushing in front of your face. You look down to see the shell of the snail turning. You guys are going to need to roll an acrobatics check, though, to stay on top of this snail.
Acrobatics?
Maybe not
Also,
acrobatics.
your
Let's do a
climbing
strength
speed
check.
is the same as your walking speed, right?
Yes.
It's like 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
we're-
acrobatics to hang on? Or
No,
what?
let's do a
Strength.
athletics check.
Okay.
Athletics saving throw.
While all this is happening, I was trying to get out earlier, but things ensued. My raven is still just flying around. Does he see what's at the top?
Up here? Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed that.
It's all good.
Sure. The
He
raven
got a-
sees some things at the top.
He don't see it.
He got a 7. So
Okay. He notices that there are 4 trinkets of some kind bobbling around in this water.
a lot of spray in the
Something
air.
that presumably might have been floating around in the bottom of this well, but the pressure has now pushed it up and they're bobbling up there. As well as, that's pretty much all he sees. Sorry.
It's all
Up
good.
there on the water.
It's all
Bobbling.
good.
So they're at the top of the 30-foot spout.
Yes.
Am I at the top of the stone wall?
So let me get this athletics check from the 3 boys to see if they stay on the shell, but you were pretty much there.
14.
14.
Oh, 12.
7.
Just Robert
It's a-
roll.
So I can just see myself, whoa, and then I flop down and like, okay, I'm gonna just stand here and watch then.
Well, it's a slow moving thing. So Rusty is able to climb to the front. Mick, you're able to right yourself to now. So now the top of the shell that you were sitting on is now the back of the shell, and the top of the shell is right there close to Robert as he sticks to the side of the well and begins to rise up. So the 2 of you remain on the back of the shell, but as it turns, Eric, you're very tall. You're rather heavy. You slip backwards and fall backwards into the mud of the swamp and sink down.
I could have cast lightning lure on him and dragged him back with a lightning bolt.
How tall are you?
I'm 7 foot. 7 foot.
Okay,
He's a
so
tall boy.
as you hit the mud, you sink down as far as you'll go. You press your feet underneath you. You stand up, and the mud is about chest high on
Yeah,
you.
I would not be okay.
You are currently standing in chest high mud.
Okay. I'm looking at it. Do you think is it climbable for me?
The mud?
Like
You
as
don't
a-
have climbing speed.
I don't, but I'm just trying to like at least put my body up above it at least, not trying to like climb up there. Just
The mud
Get
or the,
higher.
Hold on to
or
the
the
back
well?
of the
on
shell.
the-
Just
On the well.
Oh, if you want to do the well, you can attempt to climb it. You're going to have disadvantage because it's super nasty and muddy. Oh, but this is not a high-speed snail. So you've just toppled backwards. It's still somewhat in the mud. It's climbing up. If you would like to attempt to climb back on the snail, I will also give you a disadvantage on climbing onto the back of the snail.
Can I lower a rope?
Sure. Yeah.
I have rope.
I would love to have
You could-
seen
I mean,
the
at this
snail
point,
overtake you.
Mick could probably reach him
Go
by hand,
over
but you
the
could
top.
definitely lower a rope
Okay.
if you want.
Just plugs it up.
Mick,
Hey,
Can you help Eric up?
yeah. Let me hand me your rope. Hang on.
If he stands up, I think you could actually reach him.
All right, hold on, hang on.
I'm standing up.
Let me give you a hand.
So, Eric, you reach out a hand.
Do I add my strength modifier to his? Because it's nothing.
Well, he's climbing, so we're going to give Eric an athletics check to try to climb back onto this snail.
I'm going to do that. Athletics.
So you, instead of having disadvantage, you just roll one time.
Okay, 23.
A 23? Wow, excellent. So you grab onto Mick's
He
hand,
pulls the snail down to him.
just like that one shot from the predator. You grab on and climb onto the back of the snail. At this point, once you sidle onto this snail, the other 2 guys are standing there / sitting there, and you're draped over there like some big hairy laundry on the side of the snail as it begins to climb up. Meanwhile, Prince finds himself at the very top of the geyser. Your cat nose is being brushed against swampy water shooting out of the top of this thing.
Is there anywhere I could tie on a rope to this tower, or it's just like smooth across
It's
the top?
pretty smooth at the top. It's old, it's swampy.
How wide is it?
It is, I'm going to call it 5 feet in diameter. So if you were pretty skillful, you could probably whoosh, swing a rope around the.
Oh, I'm
side.
I'm standing on
You're
the top, or I'm just like kind of holding on to the side.
Whichever you prefer.
We're in position
Standing
to. I can wrap a rope around it.
That's all right. It's too
Okay.
late now.
Yeah. So you're now standing. You're standing facing like this giant wall of water shooting out in front of you.
I know there are trinkets up there, but I can't see them from where I am.
You cannot see them because they're floating on top of the water, but you know there's something on top of this thing.
Okay. I want to like jump into the water and let
Okay.
it shoot me up and try to grab one of the trinkets.
All right.
There you go.
Let me do some brief reading on what's possible with this geyser of water.
You die.
How much do you weigh?
Turns out it was battery acid this whole time.
You are taller on average than humans and relatively slender, so I'm gonna say he's like 80 pounds, all cat.
Okay.
80 pounds. He's
you-
taller than a human, though.
But he's slender.
He's taller than a human.
It's like
That's
a skeleton
But-
with a cat wrapped around it.
You give me some flair. How do you jump
And he's
in?
not particularly
You-
strong.
Head first, hands first,
With
timidly,
style.
with style.
Just kind of like as crouched as he can, he's gonna like push off of the stone with his hands and feet, just
Okay.
try to like get into the center and go straight up.
All right. You jump into the center of the water. It is extremely fast moving, but with your strength and dexterity, you're able to press into the water. Hopefully, you've held your breath, and you begin to be very quickly propelled upward by this flow of sludge.